Morning, this is Sirena Nereida, and I'm recording from my phone, so FYI, if anything's going on technologically or stuff, we have been having a heck of a time. Our internet has been out, they've been working around in the neighborhood, so we really don't know what's going on. So I just have internet from my phone right now. Sorry about that, but hopefully you guys could still get the gist of everything that's going on, okay? So anyway, oh, I see that you guys see how we burned on Thanksgiving Day our wall. There with the candles, they turned it off not correctly. They put something over it and it did that. So anyway, besides the fact, let's go here. So we have a new moon. What am I doing? Okay, we have a new moon here. And the new moon's at 17 degrees Taurus. It's a perigee moon. Let me just say that right off the beginning. Perigee moon, remember, they call it supermoon in layman's terms. And that means the moon is physically closer to the earth, okay? And so it's going to have more of a pull. We're going to see more things going on with the currents and the water, okay? Those people who are within 5 degrees of this 17 degree new moon, so let's do the math. That'll be anywhere from 12 degrees to 22 degrees, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and all the fixed signs, Leos, Scorpios, Aquarius, okay? So those of you who are wondering, let's just do it another way, okay? And we have anywhere from the beginning of the month of May, if you have a birthday, until the 11th, 12th of May. Or also too with August 1st, okay? To give or take, a day or two, all the way to, let's see here, the 11th, 12th, okay, give or take a day. So if you have a birthday in August, between the 1st and the 12th, give or take a day. Also in September 1st, give or take a day, to the 12th, give or take a day. It's just easier to do this. And I say give or take a day because we have the months are the 30th, 31st, and then sometimes they only have 29 days. And I'm not here to be your math teacher, so I'm here to be your astrologist, and it just makes it easier. Helps you think. It's good for you to think. Yes. So was my mother right there. That was funny. Let's continue to which other dates. It's going to be November 1st, all right, through the 12th, give or take a day, on both sides of the spectrum. Also, okay, that's we took care of. And then going to January 1st, okay, through the 12th, give or take a day. And then also February 1st through the 12th, give or take a day. Okay, great. We got that out of the way. Everybody's like, they know, is it concerning me or not? All right. Now remember, also take in consideration your moon sign and your ascendant, because that's very important. Your sun sign is really just one part of who you are, you're striving to be. Okay, your moon is your true emotional personality. And if you're very feminine energy driven, then that's going to be more your character. If you're a more Manglik, Vedic terminology uses that a lot in astrology. I'm Manglik, okay? I'm Manglik, plus my Mars is in the first house. Okay, so then you're going to be more sun-driven, all right? Driven by your sun sign, okay? And then also remember your ascendant, is who you are. And then if you're over 30 years old, then you got your progressive signs too that are affecting you. Oh my gosh. Really, I'm going to be honest and telling you, I really love astrology. It really gives you an insight, gives us an insight, gives me too, of people's personalities, characters, events that are happening and what's going on. But I have learned, because as a transformational healer too, I have learned that what's really important is to be very flexible in what's going on with life, especially because more asteroids and more comets and more luminaries are being discovered. And every time there's a new one being discovered, it does then become public. It affects us publicly, you know, on a collective society's. Okay, collectively, it affects society. So, and our consciousness and how we're maneuvering ourselves and reacting and dealing with ourselves. So really the flexibility is so necessary and to always remember and be compassionate that everybody's got their issues. Everybody's got an issue. Someone says, I don't have an issue. Bunch of baloney. Okay, we all have our issues and things come up, and we just need to be compassionate, loving, and realize that and stop thinking that it's all about us, but it is, but knowing that we can only help if we take care of us first, okay? So it's, if you really want to be helpful, okay, and I say this because Happy Mother's Day, by the way. I know in Latin America they celebrate it on the 10th. In the United States, we're celebrating it on the 8th, okay? So Happy Mother's Day. I'm a mommy. Aww. Okay, I have a beautiful 16, or handsome, beautiful soul, handsome 16-year-old son that has been following me around for the past 16 years, calling me mommy, mommy, and reminding me. I don't mind. I love him to pieces. I planned him and I hope for him. And well, anyway, this is not a video about him and me being a mommy, but I'm very grateful to him, most definitely, you know. Just saying. So, anyway, let's go back to this wonderful perigee moon, okay? I was having a moment there. So it is happening in 17 degrees. Now, we got several things going on. We have Mercury that's conjunct that, and Mercury is retrograde right there. So we know that already with the ideas of Mercury retrograde. Now, I have my video out there, Mercury retrograde in general, okay? That we need to just take a step back, review everything carefully. I don't know about you guys, but that last new and full moon, ooh, okay. I was feeling it from the eclipse too. So my car went out and everything, and I really had hoped to receive the car before Mars went retrograde. And no, okay. And of course, things went, I mean, I tell you, talk about electrical things going on, all right? So, okay. And I say that because remember that Mars went retrograde in Sagittarius, and the opposite is Gemini, okay? So for those of you, the traveling sections, okay, traveling and, you know, that is our transportation systems and things like that, okay? It really took into effect. So Mercury also being, okay, transportation. So that's really affecting Geminis and Virgos. If you have personal planets, maybe you are not a Gemini sun or Gemini moon or Gemini ascendant or Virgo, one of those three, but you got a personal planet. My personal planet, I have Venus is in Virgo, okay? So I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. So it is going to affect one of your personal planets. It might not per se you as a total, but on the side, all right? So you'll see that going on. Also do bring to light here that with that Mercury retrograde, again, I ask that you review the video so that way I don't take so long in this video of all the do's and don'ts with Mercury retrograde. But this is a time to relax. Taurus is a time to really, really just enjoy. This new moon is about planting good food and good healthy food, okay? And I say that because we have 5 planets that are in retrograde right now. Oh my gosh, okay? 5 luminaries. We got Mercury in retrograde. We got Pluto that just went retrograde too on the 18th. Okay, Mars went retrograde on the 17th, of April. I'm talking about April of those, if you're wondering, not to throw you off, okay? We've had Saturn in retrograde since March, okay? And, well, right there's 5, okay? Do we want more? Okay. So aside from that, I mean, I can always tell you, Juno's been retrograde, Reiki's retrograde also, so I'm looking around. But this is a time, since everything's retrograde, we're going in ourselves, okay? Realizing what we need. I know as an example, I always use myself an example or those around me because I see it and I know it the best. So, not to sound self-centered, or anything, but I've done a lot of healings and clearings, good, like just get it all out, detoxings, flushings, really help and get that out and make sure that the love you're sharing is with your heartfelt love, okay? Because a lot of us show love, oh, here, eat, eat, eat. What we really are craving, though, as humans, is that quality time. Have you heard me? Do you know me? Okay, you keep trying to feed me, but do you know me? Do you know what makes me tick? Do you know what thrills me? Okay, if we are not feeling that we could be ourselves around a person, I mean, I have a #1 rule. I will not or have not in the past, I used to when I was younger, before I had gotten married, dated people because they liked me. And just as an example, when I divorced, it wasn't because he was a bad person. Oh, he's a good person, a great, he's a very intelligent man and a good man. The thing is I didn't feel that I was liked for me, except it was for a resume. So when he had asked that I do not do astrology or share it with his friends and family, I had a pair of pink Vans, it's like, oh no, after a while, it's like, it can't be me. If I can't be me around a person, then I don't hang around with that person, because that's the #1 thing that I need, that I feel comfortable being me. And it's okay. Not everybody's going to get me, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to get everybody also. Lord, heaven forbids, we only have so much we can. And so that Taurus moon is really asking us, with all those planets in retrograde, to really love ourselves and be compassionate with ourselves and be loving and just, sometimes our family members don't get us. And sometimes it's just they got too much on their own plate to even focus on you, okay? So we shouldn't take things personally. It just is. And just because it's blood doesn't mean, well, you're supposed to be there. We would like that, hopefully I'm always there for my son, but there might become a time when, it might not. And I hope he wouldn't take it personally. I hope it would be for some good reasons too. So we need to also accept our human limitations and boundaries during this time, okay? Be in the moment. Taurus is all about being in the moment. Taurus is about also our senses, feeling our senses, our sense of touch, our sense of smell. I know I have a very, very high sensitivity to smell. Okay, my Saturn and Juno are both in Taurus. And so I'm like, all right, when I was pregnant, my goodness, okay, it was almost as if I could smell people's diseases. And going into as a healer was very interesting, was how heightened that was. And so our smells are very intense. What we see in beauty, hence why I brought that up, because I don't care for that. And we haven't matched the paint yet, I keep telling them, let's match the paint so we could get that. But hey, obviously it's not their priority. I can only do so much. This is also a time of, so we talked about touch. Oh, taste, what we put in our mouth. Like, you know, I love my teas. I drink a lot of tea. I don't put sugar, but this one is mango, green tea. Mix it up. Use natural stuff. Okay, if it's already in a bottle or bags and plastic, try not to. Okay, use that. Mix it up yourself, spices. And if you don't have the time, we'll spend one day, get your friends or family, children, and make a bunch of it, separate it into Ziploc baggies, and freeze it so that way you can just pull it out. I was just talking about that, you know, we're Mexican and my grandparents live in the front house. And so when we moved here with my son and I, there was beans always available, and he really likes beans. And so I was like, you know what, we're not, it's only the two of us, and me making a big pot of beans or pot of beans, it just isn't something. What I can do is, because if it's done properly, it needs to be done overnight. So me thinking the Taurus in me is disciplining, saying, well, why don't I make a big pot? Because sometimes he wants beans one day and didn't think about it the day before. And I cook it and then I freeze it. You know, I freeze it into Ziploc baggies. Oh, I happen to have a Ziploc baggie here. Okay? And that way we can just pull it out for that meal and defrost it and have it. And then think, oh, wow, I should have, you know, if you had told me the day before, I would have had it available. You know, and that way we could still bring out the beauties of a culture that requires day before planning. So those are some of the things, okay? So that was taste. We talked about beauty, touch, taste, our sensuality. Touch too is, you know, what we're putting on ourselves, okay? How we're feel, because it affects how we feel, and the way we feel is going that security, giving us that security. When we feel secure emotionally, especially the masculine essence needs to feel secure emotionally. When the feminine essence is secure physically, then they feel secure emotionally. Okay, that's why those who are very feminine essence driven, they are they'll talk about their emotions, all right? Kind of like the hunting and gathering, that the women will go gather and talk about things and, oh, you know, get it off their chest. And that's very important, because this is a very feminine moon. And being in that femininity, we need to respect the masculine essence too. You know, I'm totally for, you know, gosh, you know, bringing up the feminine energies and the essence, and I myself being, you know, a minister and doing that and really just enjoying that. But in the process, it's not a competition. Remember, we don't have to be against something. We could be for something. And in that feminine essence, a positive feminine essence, is that compassion and loving. And also, when we have that positive feminine essence of the Taurus, we are enhancing then the masculine essence. The common thing that a lot of people are doing, especially in their feminine essence, is they're trying to change those who are in their masculine essence. I know when I work, I'm very masculine essence driven and just focused, and I'm not I'd rather not be a multitasker. Just let me just concentrate this and that, and what, okay, now, and let me get back to this. When I'm not working, when I'm a healer, when I'm a mommy, I try and be my feminine essence, okay? Though when sometimes other people will try and put someone into an essence, I know girls that's like, oh, if he would just support me. That's a very feminine essence quality. Yet then they wonder why these men are having ED problems and are not so. I wish he would ravish me. A man cannot ravish a woman when he's in his feminine essence. So we have to decide, and we have to know the dance, and we have to realize who's leading and who's following, and at what time, and which dance are we doing for which songs, and being very aware. And this Taurus is very important because the bull is very okay, and the cow is very giving and nurturing, and so we have to really identify those essence with this new moon and what we are doing with that. And being a lot of planets, luminaries in retrograde, is going to give us that opportunity to say, wow, what do I want? Let me clarify. Because if we don't clarify and we shoot out that arrow, and I say this because we have Saturn and Mars retrograde in Sagittarius going, hold up, all these people want to manifest, all these people want to realize these great things, and they're totally confused. So let's take a step back. They don't want this, they don't want that, they don't want this, and they don't want, okay? But no one's clarifying what they really want. And so the great thing about all these retrogrades and these luminaries taking a time back is giving us the opportunity to clarify, okay? And being in Sagittarius is, it's in conjunct or quincunx, okay, as Saturn, you know, this new moon. And so it's really kind of like not flowing with it. It's like annoying, okay? I want to move forward. We can't move forward because we've got these things retrograde, conjuncted, and retrograde all around it. I mean, Jupiter is trine there in its retrograde. Pluto is trine it also. We have a grand Earth trine there. And, you know, with, you know, Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn, and Jupiter and Virgo with the new moon there. Yet we can't move forward because it's saying, be within yourself. See the greatness within yourself. See the balance. Okay, Capricorn is the daddy sign, yet it's feminine essence. Okay, and then we got the Virgo, Jupiter in Virgo, and it's very much the hearth. Okay, because Virgo is not just ruled by Mercury; it's also ruled by Vesta, and so it's the hearth and the giving and the harvest. But to really know, and it's that independent woman, really, and very critical sign. And Jupiter's in abundance, so it's like, wait a minute, do we really need to be critical of ourselves? Why? When we know we can give and give to ourselves, because with all this going on, Saturn is having issues and saying, slow down, okay? Saturn is in Sagittarius, okay, which is what Jupiter rules. Yet Jupiter is in, you know, so it's like daddy went to go visit his son, okay? His son is not there. Daddy's going, well, let me clear up things here and, you know, cut the grass and all that. His son went to go visit this one woman that he's been, you know, eyeing and really appreciates. Yet that one woman is hanging out in Taurus with the new moon and dancing with her friends and really getting to be within herself. And so the son is over here going, well, I think this is what I wanted, but wait, it's not here. And when it's not here, do I still want it? Okay. And usually we do conjunctions with the nodes like by 1 degree only, but this is a very wide conjunction. But I'm going to still mention it because some might consider it and might not. But there is a wide conjunction with the North Node here. So it's like, wait, my purpose is here of producing and harvesting, but with the seed. Okay, so the women are out there. They're having their new moon dance, the dark night dance, okay? So that way they can seed and put all the seeds in and be later on to harvest. And yet the man's already there going, well, I would like this. And the older gentleman is going, well, hon, what are you doing, you know? Do you not know yet how men and women are, okay? I know when I had the car problems, one of the issues was, in the beginning, I said, oh my gosh, this car is automatic. And it has a lot of electronic stuff. The only electronic stuff I had was, besides turning it on, the radio and the windows, you know, on my car. And I liked it that way, the simplicity. And it was stick shift. And I love stick shift. I feel like the Manglik in me, okay, Mars and Leo first house, right? It was like, I'm in control. Yeah. You know, and so it's like, oh my goodness. And so when we are taking, we have the responsibility of when we bring something into our life, of getting to know it. If I get a cat, I cannot treat it like a dog. Okay, and we have to take the responsibility, read the manual. Okay, the guy kept telling me, read the manual, read the manual. I did that night. I read that manual. Okay, and I was like, I got it. You know, I was able, when I took it in to go get fixed, I was able to say, this, and this needs it. I sounded like I knew what I was talking about. It was like, I don't like it, but I knew. Okay, and so we need to realize that we cannot go and change and say, I need you to change because of me. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't have that right unless it's something we have control of, something that's inanimate, that's not alive. And I say quote and unquote because as a transformational healer, everything has energy and is alive in one way or another, okay? But in the layman sense of what's alive, we don't have the right to really control or adjust it, you know, without their permission. So taking that into an account and accepting that, all right, then we can understand our belief systems better. Okay, we can understand what we need and how we need to move forward. Now, with this, Reiki is conjunct this Mars. It's wonderful. It's conjunct this Mars in retrograde with Sagittarius. And so in Sagittarius, so there's that opportunity of just getting that energy and just being one with the universe. And Sagittarius is higher beliefs and connecting with the universe. And just like, ooh, you know, rain it down on me, that beautiful energy, you know, call in your light team and just connect every so often, because if we do not connect and we do not ask for help from Source, God, our divine creator, the great white light, you know, all the different wonderful, beautiful names that religions have, you know, this is a very spiritual time. Spirituality is connecting and realizing our purpose within the universe, and that we are one with the universe, that we are an important puzzle piece, okay? And no matter what, it has absolutely no preference in the spirituality if we're deserving or guilt or anything like that. Okay, we leave that to the religions when they want to mea culpa, let me, you know, flog myself and all that. Okay, but really spirituality is understanding that, yeah, you know, some people might not prefer what we do, might opinionate it, but other people might celebrate it, okay? And, you know, and I mentioned this because of this sensuality. I'm a health coach, so I might see some people and it's like, you're eating that again? Don't you know it's full of gluten and lactose, and you're having that, and then you wonder why you're having cramps? And I already know, I mean, my son already has the dialogue said, and I'm like, yeah, exactly what he said. And as a health coach, it is my responsibility to bring those aspects in effect. But as a healer, it's why do we keep doing that to ourselves? So because going back to the new moon and that need of abundance is because we are trying to give and feed ourselves that compassion. That's okay. That is not. Thank you for your patience. I just had a phone call right now from a client. So anyway, we're going back to what we were saying here with the trine that's going on, and how we need to really focus on what we want and put it out there. Sagittarius being that higher, our belief systems. It's not religious, it's our spiritual belief systems, understanding our connections with the universe, the important parts we play with the universe, and accepting that part, and has nothing to do with, well, do I deserve it? You know, I shouldn't speak with my mouth full for a couple of reasons. One, it's rude, and second, I'm kind of choke, but I'm always eating. If those of you who know me, I eat mostly raw, but so I'm always hungry. Anyway, so not always hungry. What I mean is I'm always eating because I do feed myself. But anyway, so, and you know what? This is a very Taurian thing, by the way, you know, eating your fruit, eating alkaline, very important because that way our system stays with positive energy. Because a lot of people think the combination, what they're eating is healthy. It's not necessarily that it's not healthy. It's the way they're combining it is creating acid in their system. So, knowing that, okay, moving right along, okay, I'm looking at my, to move things around for the thing. So anyway, you guys notice I really include you guys in my life here, you know, what's going on and stuff, right? Okay, so now, understanding that. But let's move on from that Earth trine. We know that there's those things going on. And thank goodness, because just so you know, we have Jupiter going direct. So this stuff of having, you know, people might not have been receiving as easily as they usually do. Those Sagittarius and Pisceans are probably like, you know, kind of like just want to. I used to have I had an ex-boyfriend. Well, I like to call them exes because I had a boyfriend in the past. He was a Sagittarius. And every time, never failed, Jupiter went into retrograde. This active man would become so, like, and that's when he would gain his weight. And, you know, so it was just kind of like he became depressed. And he was such a happy person. It just really, really would drag him down. And I was like, oh, no. Okay, so, and I see that also with Pisces, okay? And just to note also that, heads up that we do have the Jupiter going direct on the 9th. Woohoo! Okay, day after Mother's Day. Yay! All right. And then we have the full moon on the 21st. And Mercury on the 22nd, Mercury does go direct, okay, at 14 degrees Taurus, which is going to be conjunct this new moon. So what wasn't dealt with then is going to be dealt with what wasn't dealt with now is going to be dealt with then. Okay, so there is that opportunity because the 22nd is after the full moon is going to have an ending to it because this is all about revisiting what we haven't dealt with. Okay, if you, it's a very loving moon. The sensuality, not a sex. We're talking. I mean, yes, sex could be involved, but it's very one with the senses, sensuality. Okay, and so what's going on is perhaps rekindling something with someone in the past. All right, can happen. More earth signs are coming into our life, especially those from the past. And you might have some positive results kindling that, okay? Or because that Mercury is conjunct the new moon, our new moon now, at the time of the full moon, it could be that this is it, that's it, no more. You know, now you are secure in knowing why you don't want that person in your life, okay? So Venus is in Taurus at 8 degrees. And it's a, I wouldn't call it conjunct. It's just way too, you know. It's 9 degrees, okay? It can be. You might feel it, but not really, all right? It's closer to Amor, which is the asteroid Amor, which is at 4 degrees, okay? But asteroids usually have 1 degree partition there, okay? So something important, Apollo's at a at 29 degrees Pisces, so there's major endings of what we thought is going on. So anybody who has anything at 29, it's going to be showing already, you know, especially at Pisces, that ending and new beginnings are going to come, okay? You have completed a cycle at this time, and that's wonderful. Congratulations, all right? And now you are going to be abounding to a new cycle. Or those of you who have some kind of degree, 28, 29, maybe even 27 and a half, you know, and a water sign is going to be positively trine with that. Okay, whereas someone who has it in either Virgo or Sagittarius or Gemini, it's going to consider it an obstacle, okay? Now, Eros is at 25 degrees Aquarius. It's squaring Vesta and Mercury. So there's that need, Vesta and Mercury are in Taurus, that need for sensuality to really melt within those energies. And then Eros wants to, and leave. Okay? And so be aware of that, because at the end, do you want to feel empty? Do you want, what is it you're trying to accomplish in combining your energies with someone else? Perhaps it's better just to take care of your own needs if instead of ripping someone else of their needs. And I say ripping because sometimes someone openly gives themselves to us, but we have other intentions. Or we were just like, oh, well, I'm just releasing, okay? And that is a very immature, irresponsible as adults, okay? When we realize that, I tell the teenagers, because nowadays, you know, teenagers, well, back when I was in the day also, are sexually intimate, to be very aware. Are they going out there to be loyal? You know, the sex can be like a basketball team, basketball court, you know. Are you going there because you're loyal to that, you know, to that team? Or you just going to play with whomever is out there to get some exercise and let off some steam? Okay. Are you going always with your buddies, or are you supporting? So what it is, your intentions, and make sure that the other people are on the same plane, because if not, that's where your where bad karma is created. We don't ever want that, okay? Go, if it's not fixed in this life, it comes back to haunt us in the next life, okay? And so, we have Jupiter is still opposite Neptune, okay? And I'm bringing that up because Neptune is at 11 degrees. I'm looking at my notes here. I know Neptune is supposed to go retrograde pretty soon. Oh, in June. There you go. And June 13th, okay? So it's going to be going retrograde. And it's in Pisces. So that is really, you know, a time of, you know, with that there is this, you have Jupiter is going to be going direct, and it's in Virgo, whereas Virgo is more rigid, structured religion, okay, medical institutes, anything that's required rules, surgery, okay. And yet, we have Neptune in Pisces, and it's creating opposition. Jupiter wants more of that, and Neptune is higher level, okay, higher spiritual love. It is not just this physical love that's bound to this earth. It is a love that is, I want to say, forever. I mean, I've had I know some people, they've been connected with them in past life, children that I still see, and I'm like, oh, my son from a past life, how you doing, you know? My ex-husband from a past life. And I could feel that deep spiritual love, yet I don't need to be with them on a constant basis, and they don't need to be with me, because they know that that love is constant, okay? That's the kind of love we're talking about. That unconditional spiritual depth of love. And that is what's going on, okay? So there is an understanding and a want of that, all right? Being in Pisces, higher level, and really realizing how depth it is in us and having that, okay, sensuality. Now, it is sextile also the new moon. And so that new moon is giving us, you know, a want of really indulging in the feelings and needing to be okay with those feelings. If one is a slider like I am, where you blow up light bulbs just by your emotions, if you're not too grounded or something happens or there's too much electricity around you, you know, this is a time to make sure you're wearing very much grounding stones. In this case, I would say amber, okay, because of the Taurus, all right? And this is very grounded, you know, onyx is helpful also because of Pisces, hematite. So that way those things don't happen. Another thing too, is best if we remember is, it is sextile, that Neptune is sextile the new moon. And both of them can overflow. So this is the Mercury retrograde is on a degrees of misfortune, okay, of high alcohol and violence involved. So really, if it's not necessary to drink or to be in a sketchy area, it is best not to, okay? Especially if you have any degrees. Remember that we had mentioned earlier in the program, okay? I'm looking at Sybil. Sybil is trying Mars right now, so that's neat. It's a lot of inner healing, okay? That's very nice. So that thing's now, and I'm hoping I mentioned it all, okay? Let's see here. I have my little things going on. 7. I think that's it, you guys. Well, stay tuned, okay? Stay tuned for your independent forecast and also for the health aspects and tarot card readings. All right, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Hello, I'm back. This is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness. And so right now I'm going to talk about the Sabian symbol. I didn't in the beginning of the program. I apologize. But here, a symbolic battle between swords and torches. Okay, so swords is the warrior, the conquering, defending. Torches, enlightenment, seeing, moving forward. Okay, so are we trying to defend what is there, or are we going to allow ourselves? Now, this is very important because we have 5 luminaries in retrograde, so we need to find out what are we going to do. And these planets in retrograde, a lot of them are in, we got 3 of them off the top of my head in mutable signs. We have one in a fixed sign, and then another one in a cardinal sign. So being fixed right now is not the thing, and holding our ground. We're going to have to be realizing we're growing, we're evolving, and it is time to go with it. And it's okay. And how can we make this process easier, less painful? Okay? Because life shouldn't be so painful. If it's so painful, really, it's because we're not appreciating and being grateful for all the beauty and things and wonderful energies in our life, okay? It saddens me because I know some people have depression. It's because they're focused on the negative. I do get sad too. I mean, I had a friend on Monday just saying, oh, you know, I know people in Nereida think that you're eccentric, weird, and just off kilter. And I was just like, whoa, you know. I'm like, you know, a little tear came down. I was like, And And it took me back from when I was a child, when I was name called tremendously when I was the youngest in my class, and you know, so all these names, and it was just like, ah, and then thank goodness I had already done, you know, wonderful energy clearings that it didn't affect me anymore. I was like, yeah, but it was a little sad to have to accept that as an adult, people can still be so immature and childish, you know, and got over it. But my point is too is, are we going to stick, you know, that there's nothing I can do, stick, so I can just go with it and say, oh, well, you know, it is what it is, because I'm not going to change that I'm a transformational healer. I'm not going to change that I'm an astrologer, and I like myself. So we're going to seek, you know, look for enlightenment, looking to connect. The light connects us with others, and that's very important during this time. Or are we going to separate ourselves? Swords separate ourselves. Yeah, it's interesting because it's very mental, okay? If we think about it, swords and tarot, you know, is the mental sign, all right? So here, you know, are we going to connect compassionately? Or are we going to try to separate ourselves logically? People separate themselves because they fear their survival, their stability with others. So it's easier just to walk away as opposed to just giving it space, okay? And sometimes that's more necessary. So let's continue now. Moving on. Okay, let's do the individual forecasts, all right? Aries. Aries, this is going on in your second house, this new moon, your finance, your personal finances, your material items, your luxury. How is that changing, okay? Your values, your personal values. If you have personal planets in there, you're seeing those change also. So, having a different way of gaining your finances. Perhaps if you have two luminaries, maybe you're going for a different type of part-time job, okay? Activity. I hear the cat, Ragnar. Who's making his presence known, okay? So, it's giving you an opportunity to look in and see, are you working just to survive, or are you actually doing what you want to do? Remember, if you're not happy about doing what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. But what else? How am I else? I'm going to feed myself. What is your passion? What do you enjoy? Do that. And things will come better to you and easier. Okay? Most definitely. Got to readjust the way you're thinking and doing things. Okay? So, okay. Let's move on. Taurus. Taurus, when this change is happening in your first house, maybe your appearance, really taking effect of how can you pamper yourself, all right? Some Taurus only know how to pamper themselves through alcoholic indulgence or drugs. Cook, plant seeds, really start that garden, okay? This is a great time for new beginnings, new beginnings. I know I have a couple mango seeds I'm going to split pretty soon, and this is great for it, okay? So, really see what it is that you want to do and let that come out and share it with society, share it with the world, okay? Bring it as an asset. Don't hide it. Don't deny yourself that great. Okay, Gemini, moving on. Gemini, you're having changes within yourself. Maybe you're convalescing. Maybe you're doing some cleansing, detoxing, spiritual work. You're having opportunities to just get away. Do a little retreat. Go up to the mountains, go to the beach. Be one with nature. Really ground yourself, Gemini, which has been hard, especially you have Mars opposite your sign and Saturn. So grounding yourself right now is very important. Then you have Neptune squaring you also, okay? So, and Jupiter squaring you. So that grounding is not a suggestion. It's a necessity, all right, to be very quite honest. And in that necessity, you will see you'll be able to connect so much more with Source and the universe and our divine creator and with your true, authentic self, your soul, okay? So Cancer, you're having changes of how you're reevaluating your friendships, your goals, okay? Because of your goals, your friendships are changing and how you interact with certain people. Maybe they're friends and you're going to just leave them as acquaintances now. Or maybe they're acquaintances and you're going to bring them in closer to you. Okay? They're giving you opportunities. These are connections that are going to give you opportunities to reach out and share your soul passion and really bring it and love it out and and let that nurturing and compassion take place to really give to the world at this time. Cook a dinner for your friends, okay? Oh, by the way, a lot of people forget that the 11th house includes stepchildren, all right? Or children from your partner. So perhaps you have an opportunity to do that, huh? Just something to think about. Okay. When I say to do that, I mean like maybe cook a meal and they're included, okay? Or include them in activities. So, the 11th house. 11th house going now is Leo to the 10th house. Leo, in your 10th house, you are now becoming the authority figure, all right? You have taken on a new position and you're kind of liking it too, all right? But come from a loving area. You're a fixed sign, Leo, and so is Taurus is a fixed sign. But the thing is are you in agreement with one another of what those goals are? You guys could work really well together if you wanted to, okay? But you got it, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, okay? As an authority figure or with that new authority figure, supervisor coming into your life. Maybe you are spending more time with your father, all right? Or in this case, if it's authority figure is your mother, you know, perhaps they're back in town or you're going to go visit them and see them and reestablish your hearth, reestablishing your roots, okay? Maybe have, for Mother's Day, have a barbecue, cook for them, bring in some food and enjoy, okay? Virgo, you're having opportunities to start a cooking class from another country, okay? Like Indian food or Argentinian food or Cambodian, Ethiopian, all right? Icelandic, I'm not sure what, they have. And really connect with long distance, also Virgo with the spiritual being, all right? And having those connections and really enjoying yourself with that. In that you're going to make a better, deeper connection with Source and how you are with the universe. And let go of those rigid rules, okay? And those rigid steps. I know it's hard. My Venus is in Virgo, so I can forget, all right? And sometimes I'm like, no, I want to follow the steps, all right? And if not, then it's not done correctly. And I'm trying to stay focused. But really, this is time where you got to just do that leap of faith and enjoy that. Go for a motorcycle drive. Go long distance for a long drive, I have a cousin, my cousin, who's also a healer. I'm just thinking about her. She's a Virgo, and I'm thinking, oh, where can we go? I want to go for a drive. Let's drag her out of the house, and just go for somewhere. All right. So Virgos, this opportunity for higher learning, also taking a college course, a distance online college course is pretty cool too. So that's an opportunity. And really expanding those horizons and that knowledge. All right. Okay. Libra, we have the 8th house. The 8th house is that's the transformation. You've made a bunch of adjustments. You had in a couple of months, maybe past 2, 3, 4 months. And now, how are you settling in? How are you allowing that to affect? Are you just doing? Or are you letting yourself be in the moment and affect you and let it come out? Okay? And really just let it come through your pores and exude the glory of all those wonderful changes you have been part of. Okay? And that is what's important. Other people's money right now, loans, things, you might be taking out a loan. It could be for a college, a car, a payment. But you're doing some kind of partnership in other people's money right now. So see what it is that it's going on. Okay? And always remember, things need to be paid back. Mercury is retrograde, so make sure it's with a partner and with whom I would suggest an earth sign, that way you have stability there. And I'm thinking, because right now I'm quiet, because I'm thinking, well, Capricorn wouldn't probably be the best, because it would give you, it squares you, it would create obstacles. Yet Taurus is in conjunct, so perhaps Virgo, if you get along with Virgos, or Taurus would be your best bet instead of Capricorn at the time. But think very carefully, is this a partnership you want to entertain and enter, period? And how long? Because this is one you have dealt with before. So think of those things. Also, if you must do surgery, hopefully it's on something, well, I don't want to say hopefully, because if it's on something that you had to have done before, that's not a good sign, right? So, but you want to wait till after, till July to do any kind of surgery, Libra. Try detoxing at this time instead and flushing out if it's not imminent that you do the surgery now, okay? So if you have natural births, that would be better also. I know a lot of doctors say, oh, no, it's faster cesarean, yeah, but it's not their body. And then you have that forever. The muscles still have been cut through, and it's not the same, all right? It's just not the same. I remember I told my mother when I was, before I delivered, unless it is detrimental to the baby, I don't care for me, detrimental to the baby, then I'll have a cesarean, but do not under any circumstance, and I'm happy we did that, so it was a natural process, loving a natural process. Okay, let's go Scorpio. Scorpio, you're having opportunities to rekindle a flame, a partnership, could be business partnership, a marriage partnership. You're coming into grounds of, is this something you want? It is something you need to consider, because there's a reason why you split in the first place, okay? Is this something you are ready for? Obviously, you weren't ready or didn't appreciate something at that time, or they weren't ready or didn't appreciate something about you. And that it's probably going to have a earth sign, either Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn coming back into your life. And so it wouldn't be surprising, but is that what you want? Are they ready now? Or is it something that they are just, let's just have a fling because it was fun at the time, And if you don't mind that, then more wonderful, then be it, then enjoy you being Scorpio who you are, okay? You're having opportunities to also think what it is you need, want, and desire. There are different things, okay? in a partnership? Can you come to terms? If you're the type who's looking, if you're a male and you're the type who's looking for a mother, and I mean someone who's not, who's going to be your maid, because you don't know how to do things, can you still look at the woman as a sexual and sensual being? Okay? Or do you need to separate that? You, of all signs, the males, have issues with combining the different characteristics of a woman, okay, into one. And so, and then you wonder why there's these power plays. Well, that's because the power play is within you, Scorpio. This is a very good opportunity to see what it is you need. Who are you? What can you provide as a partner? Okay? You know what you lust for. All right? But what is it that you can understand and appreciate better? Sagittarius, this is new moon is in your 6th house of your everyday life, of your routine, of your pets, smaller pets, and of also your health. Okay, so Sagittarius have a habit in their older age to gain a lot of weight. So if you've been doing that, I doubt it, because Saturn is in your sign right now. You've had to discipline yourself anyway. Okay, and more so now with this new moon is supporting it, saying let's go, let's behave, let's get active, watch what we're eating. Okay, eat good, healthy, organic, GMO, gluten-free. Okay, all natural, no sugar added. Okay, and no sugar alcohols and stuff like that. Just really get into it. And be part of that, because cooking and what you eat is part of your health and part of the everyday activities. And it really helps you be more connected in what you're doing, instead of just going and using someone to eat and then moving on. Okay? When you are part of that process, you are in the moment, and it helps widen your horizons. Like take a cooking class, you know, fitness training class. And really, but something that's really, you know, like paleo training, and not these what you see at the gym, okay? Ones that is really healthy and cleansing, and using the benefit of all that movement, okay? So let's move on. All right, Capricorn. This new moon is happening in your 5th house of romance. When I say romance, I'm not talking partnership, not your marriage, you know, not your boyfriend, girlfriend that you're living with. This is just how you, the candles, the massages, the romantic dances, the caresses, the fun part of romance, okay? And so you're having opportunity to rejoin someone and kindling that romance and seeing if that's what you really want. Having opportunity to rekindle your interaction with your children. And even your bigger pets, like if you have a Doberman, you know, like that. When I say bigger pets, even like a Rottweiler, something that's almost the size of a human, you know, if they had them on their hind feet, okay? And really opportunity to enjoy yourself and have some fun. But remember, is this something that you just want temporary? Or is this something you want for a long time? Remember why you weren't with this person before. And what is it that, was it timing, certain aspects, or was it their timing in certain aspects? And can you deal with that now? You know, that's very important to remember, recall, okay? So think about that and be responsible. No, don't just use for your entertainment because you are bored. Realize that you have the responsibility and obligation to be on the same plane as the other person. And if you're not sure, that's what we have a good conversation over dinner about. That's what it's all about, so better understanding, okay? Don't assume, and just because you leave out things, don't also lead people intentionally. That's not fair to them. Okay, be very aware of that responsibility. Aquarius, we're having changes at home, new beginnings at home. I know my moon's in Aquarius and my grandmother's coming back from Mexico. Woohoo, okay. More beans, no, they've been having beans up front. So, you know, it's your connection with the mother. In this case, it's my grandmother. And so being a moon right there. So you're having an opportunity to really celebrate Mother's Day at home and enjoying that. Okay, do a big celebration, food, put the plants, maybe start planting with this new moon. Okay, and really bring it out, you know. And just enjoy the company of the females in your family, Aquarius. And that'll help ground you and remind you who you are, because I think you're losing about there your soul purpose, all right? You had Sagittarius and Scorpio for a couple of years, and that was causing you oppositions and making you doubt yourself. And now you're getting opportunity to remember who you are and what it is that you are going for, your passions of your life. Pisces, you're getting opportunity in your third house to reconnect with siblings, cousins, right? Taking a neighborhood class, a community class, even perhaps teaching one yourself, and moving around more, okay? And what it is that you want to do in that movement, what is your goal there? And really seeing and allowing yourself, okay, to be part of that, and how you're going to interact with that. And it just gives you better communication too. So you're having all those opportunities, and you know, maybe you're having a neighborhood brunch, all right, for Mother's Day. You're inviting all the mothers over, or you're having all the mothers whose children who aren't available, you know, you're giving them something, you know, or the children who don't get to connect with their mothers, you know, you're inviting them over. All right, so it's a fun opportunity with this Mother's Day. You're going to have a lot of fun, okay? And I'm going to talk real quickly about Jupiter going direct. And let me just put here new moon. Okay. So Jupiter is going direct, Aries, in your sixth house, okay? And that's of health. And so your health, all that is very important right now. Make sure you're getting active again, and revisiting, cleansing, detoxing, move, dance, sing, play, have fun, but get strict, you know, make sure you're taking your nutrients, your vitamins. I talk more about that in the next segment of this program. So with the chakras and health, please get involved in that. Okay, you're having a new direction in which way you're going in your daily routine, and that's very important. And how you interact with your bigger animals, pets. So have fun with that. Really enjoy. Sing more, dance more, move, but abide by the rules. Okay, that's what's going to be important at this time. Okay, Taurus, you're having changes going on in your fifth house. Okay, you're getting more opportunity now. Jupiter's going direct in your romance section, children and all that, and fun. So if there was something you wanted to do with your children, since Mercury is in retrograde that you didn't get a chance to before, now you're going to, you know, or maybe you did and you're going to do it again. So maybe you're a Taurus mother and your children, you know, you get to enjoy Mother's Day doing something you have in the past. Or participate in some kind of fun entertainment. Gemini, Jupiter is going direct in your fourth house regarding home. Maybe you are going back home. Your mother, you're going back to your mother. Your mother is going to be staying with you. Either way, you're having opportunities of revisiting and taking care of your hearth and the basis of who you are. And just reconnecting your roots, you know, you spend some time and that time to feel the grass beneath your feet, feel the waters of the beach, is to reconnect your roots and the basis of who you are, and offering yourself that opportunity, okay, to do that. And it's going to be such a healing process for you, all right? Let's see here. Cancer, this is going on in your third house, so communications, electronics, you know, it's going to be working better. My internet. Can you believe no internet for several days except through my phone? And of course you can't do the Chromecasting or anything onto your TV without the Wi-Fi, right? Well, go figure. Okay, if you guys know how to do a Bluetooth another way, please show me, you know, or send me a link, yeah, so that way I can know. Put it on one of the comments, you know, I don't mind, I appreciate that. But also too, the car business, and for me that's been happening. Oh my gosh, I had so much going on. Okay, so I'm really hoping the car gets fixed. If not, we're gonna have to send it back, you know. And that's the bottom line, and do a claims dispute. It would be unfortunate, but I don't see that right now. So, you know, that opportunity of reconnecting with your siblings and cousins, and maybe even teaching a class or taking a community class, all right? So those are things you want to consider. I'm doing this just really quickly, okay, because I didn't do it in combination. Usually I would combine them all. And then this time I didn't. For some reason, I didn't think about it at the time. Okay? Having other things in my mind. In fact, I wasn't even going to, I almost gave up going to do the video because of the internet. But so, anyway. Leo, this is going on in your personal finances. Finally, the doors are opening up. Can you feel it? Can you feel that energy coming? And then you're like, yes, they're kind of closed and slow, but it gave you time to prepare and give you what is it that you would like to do and go about it. And now you are seeing some action, okay, coming after the 9th. So allow yourself, be grateful for what you have, and be grateful for those opportunities, okay? Let's see, maybe you're taking on a second job, all right? Our second source of income is going to be solidified. Virgo, your this is Jupiter going direct. Is happening in your first house. Watch about expanding. We want to expand in here, not physically, okay? So, and just a heads up, it is going direct at 13 degrees Virgo. So, if you are within 8 degrees of Virgo and on, heads up, because when Jupiter hits it, we tend to expand. And I know my Venus, it had hit my Venus, so now I was feeling it, okay, a little, though I didn't mind it, but other people might. So if you are a glutton for sweet things and you're craving it, be aware why, okay? Jupiter is giving that, that need. And sometimes too, because it's so high out there with a source in the universe and higher, all of a sudden Virgo tends to want to ground itself more and will go to the simple starch carbs to ground themselves. So we're not just talking about sweets and sugar, we're talking about the simple grains. So if you could keep it more to lentils, all right? And I talk more about that in the coming part of a segment of the health and chakra part, okay? So just be aware of that. Maybe it's been from all those cooking classes, foreign cooking classes you're taking, and all your travels too that you're expanding, okay, from the new moon. But anyway, just heads up, eyes open, and keep your routine, physical routine, part of your life. Libra, okay, these changes, Jupiter's going direct in your 12th house, so perhaps you're getting opportunity to go do a retreat, get away, and really, since it's in Virgo, maybe do some farming, harvesting, planting, and really get your hands in there to connect, and Well, I just thought of something because you know, maybe you're doing because of your eighth house, you're doing in retreat, maybe you're doing a timeshare, okay, where you're sharing financially and you're getting away, you know, putting all that together so you can go heal, okay? Or maybe, hopefully it's not because you need to get a loan so you can do surgery or things like that, you know, but it can be a possibility. But this is a healing time, a transformative time, especially after what you've gone through with those eclipses, okay? So now, Scorpio, this is going on. Jupiter is going direct in your 11th house of friendships and personal goals and partners, children. And really this means also, you know, and affecting the new moon in your 7th house is because of the rekindling probably of your partnership. It's how you're going to interact now with others and maybe their children, and how you're going to go about your goals. It could also be because... So we are having Sagittarius. This Jupiter is going direct in your 10th house, so of authority figure and father figures. Also, maybe you're taking a position of a new authority figure in someone's life, or your father is going to be playing a part, coming back in and interacting. Now, the daily interaction as an authority figure is something that's going to be more on a daily basis, okay? Or on a routine basis. It's not going to be just here and there. So, what it is that you are willing to take in partnership. This is an agreement from before that you had, but now you are readjusting the titles, you're readjusting the priorities, and you're readjusting what it is that you needed and that other person needed, okay, from you, and what you needed from them, and what you're willing to give, okay? So that's very important, because there was a reason why you guys no longer interacted in the position that you do now. So in understanding that, seeing that, and you know, bringing it all together. Okay, so if you are going for a supervisor position, good luck. Capricorn, you are having opportunities of taking a long distance class, maybe even a foreign cooking class. And I took an Indian cooking class once, and oh, I loved it. Okay, so I've taken a higher course, degree course, or one that's regarding spirituality and how the universe is connected and how you are connected with the universe, and what is your position, okay, in all this, and how can you benefit from this? How can what you want to get out of life benefit the collective consciousness, okay? So that way there isn't a sense of selfishness, but it's being selfishly unselfish at this time, okay? So in doing that, you know, you're having opportunities to perhaps in your foreign travels or in your higher classes as well, how you're going to interact with someone from before, either with their children or loved one, and having some fun, revisiting certain activities. I know I'm not a Capricorn, but my son has his Venus in Capricorn, and just yesterday he was asking, goes, Mommy, when you study for your master's, you know, the history of the Latinos through music and dance, how does that work? I go, well, they sent you with a mentor, and I bring this up because my North Node is in Sagittarius in the 9th house, and so bringing it all together, you know, is very important. So this is an example, you know, of doing something legit for higher learning, but doing it with entertainment in there. So like, I used to be able to write off all my times I went to a club and all the heels I bought, you know, and all the dance classes I took, and my travels and the languages, and he's like, that's cool, you know. So it's really nice, and that could be just an example of combining the two of the 5th house and the 9th house. Aquarius, we are having Jupiter go direct in your 8th house, okay, of transformation. And when we say transformation, exchanging of energies also is the 8th house. Most people think of exchanging energies in sex, but also when you are going into a loan with someone else, or in an agreement, a financial agreement, or some kind of material agreement, there is an exchange of energy. There is an understanding of what it is that you both are agreeing on, and what are your limits and boundaries. And so here, this is something with your 4th house. So there must be some kind of agreement that is either the basis of who you are, or dealing with your home, okay? And that is going direct, and it could also be not just your home, the base of who, or with your mother figure, all right? Or you are having hopefully it's not for surgery purposes, and please not facelifts, okay? Or anything of the beauty right now, you know, that is not the time unless you're rectifying, correcting, okay? But otherwise, no, you know, I would advise not to. I shouldn't be like, no. It would be best that you wait. Okay, but otherwise, hopefully it is of positive purposes, and you can be supportive. Hopefully it isn't that your mother is needing surgery, all right? But you are transforming the basis of who you are through all these energies that is going on, that having been retrograde, okay? Pisces, you are having opportunities here. Jupiter is going direct in your 7th house of partnership. You kind of have felt like, gosh, people haven't been there for you, or maybe you kind of miffed off some people, you know, had a tiff with them. And maybe it's also opportunity of a rekindling of a partnership with a sibling, or of a neighborhood friend, someone from the neighborhood, or an aunt or an uncle, okay? A cousin. And that's going to be nice, because Pisces doesn't like to be alone, though, because they could get low. And this is an agreement partnership, one of some kind of commitment where there's a contractual agreement and understanding, either verbal, written, handshake, okay? And it could be also of going and partaking this agreement that you are is helping out, going into some kind of partnership, you know, doing something, you know, maybe part-time, okay? And nothing of a major, maybe you're doing babysitting for a cousin or a younger sibling, you know, to gain money. So this is what's going on with Jupiter direct, okay? So I thank you, and, you know, enjoy this new moon in Taurus. It's a perigee moon, I already mentioned. And we have the full moon on the 21st. Jupiter goes direct on the 9th. So on the 22nd, after the full moon, we have Mercury going direct. So really enjoy, have fun. Please be very aware. This is a high abundance of alcohol time, and people get violent during that time. The combination of the energies. Though on the better part, this is a great time to plant all the seeds, work in your garden, really get your hands dirty and work in that. Work with food too, organic, natural, you know. And leave the boxes alone. Just make it and really get the more vegetables and fruit in your food. Just be aware, as a health coach, I would like to bring to attention, no fruit should be mixed up with any other kind of food. Fruit is all by itself and in the morning, okay? No mango chicken, no ham and pineapple, all right? In fact, it could cause a lot of harm, acid in your body. You think, oh, well, fruit is good, chicken is good, put it together, should be better. No. Okay, drink a lot of water, because the earth needs water, and this is the time to grow, and that's the time with water. Okay, water is also conductivity, or electricity and higher energy. Anyway, This has been La Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. Our website's going to be up pretty soon, so I'm really excited. I have a wonderful guy working on it, and he's patient and with me, and that is very wonderful and necessary. So have a wonderful, wonderful new moon. Oh, do your new moon checks. Remember, do your new moon list, okay? Put it with the candle. And in the next, the part of this program, we're talking about what you could do to put your heart love out there. Josita.